Mercy, man. NXT overall, it's just a great show. I mean, I don't know what else I can say about it. Like, the TV's great. People are giving Shawn Michaels heat or hate or whatever you want to call it for saying, oh, NXT's the best shit since the Attitude Era or whatever. And people are giving him shit for that. And it's, I don't know, a promoter putting over his promotion. Big deal. And that's something we're going to talk about later. I realized about Tony Khan, man. Like, sorry, Tony Khan. I didn't mean to say Khan, man. I know people do that on like X and social media as like a barb at him. I did not. I legitimately did not mean that way. I just meant Tony Khan, comma, man. He just wins me over at these press conferences because he's so geeked out and like in more ways than one. And I don't know. I love that. For some reason, it's like I would hang out with him. Honest to God, guys. At the end of the day, we're all fans of wrestling and like we're nerds, dude. We're wrestling nerds. If I had $1 billion, I'd toss $1 billion as well. It doesn't mean I'm not going to make fun of Mox's shitty comment. I'm not going to make fun of Mox's shitty commentary or whatever. It doesn't mean I'm not going to call it out for being like, yo, this shit is just thrown together bullshit. But I said it before, man, with these press conferences after All In, I know I was going kind of like, what's the point? And all that, but I don't know. Collision's had some good shows since we've last brought reviews to you guys. The AEW's had some decent stuff, and I don't know. Nothing's gonna change, but my stance is a little more in the positive of like, yeah, are the fans shit next sometimes? Yeah, but god damn it, there is some gold there, which we'll get to. But speaking of gold, the gold and white NXT No Mercy NXT Women's Championship match kicks off the show, I believe. You know, Hairline's way better. He takes the goddamn notes and then it's all ordered out way better. But I'm just going to go through the goddamn card the way I took my notes because I just write the shit that's over with me. So we had Kalani Jordan versus Blair Davenport on the pre-show. The match was whatever. Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. This was a good match. Corbin got the win, which I didn't expect, but I think Braun might be headed to the main roster pretty quick, which is why they did that. Again, I don't know. NXT pretty much is main rosters. We'll talk about on Raw. Trick Williams was on Raw. So, but either way, this was a pretty good match. You know, two big guys slapping meat. What can you say about it? The finish was nice. And I don't know, Corbin's like, I don't know. I see why they like him in WWE, you know, talent cuts come and you go, is it really Ziggler and not Corbin? But there's a reason. Corbin he'll take chicken shit and turn it into chicken salad. But anyways, Noam Dar versus Butch. This was a great match, but it went entirely too long. And I don't like this NXT Global Heritage shit. I don't like the format of it. I get they're trying something new. It went to like 6 rounds or so. If you're going to do it like 5 rounds, lean more to that MMA element. You know what I mean? And then moving along, we had the NXT Championship, Tag Team Championship, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. This was a bunch of just green. I don't know. Like apparently D'Angelo actually hurt himself. There was so much unnecessary, like their division is, they have depth, but it's all really green and there's nobody who, if it's me, if I'm WWE, I'm sending DIY, who we'll talk about later. I'm sending them down to NXT to just reign with the tag titles again and carry them around the main roster and get them over. I know the family's like hot and everything, but just everyone's so green. So this match didn't really do it for me. Garza and Carrillo are the best part of the match. The Creed brothers really have something. If I'm WWE, again, here, I'm just fantasy mark booking for you guys. If I'm WWE, I'm eventually bringing the Creed brothers up and then they'll join American Alpha while Otis either stays with the group or breaks off. And then Maxine goes off with what's his name, Ludwig, which is what Hairline's been fantasy mark booking, which at first I was like in denial. I was like, no, fuck you, but he's so right. He's been calling it since the beginning, you know. So I think that's totally where they're going with that eventually. It only makes the most sense, right? Anyways, moving along, the NXT North American Championship match, we had Dirty Dom Mysterio take on Trick Williams. And fuck, man, such an overheel, Trick is so over. Whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. Get him. Whoop that Trick. I need that on the soundboard. Motherfucker. Trick is so good. I thought, not thought, but you just kind of saw it coming like, okay, Mello and Trick, one of them's going to win and one of them's going to lose. And you had to think that Mello was going to lose because he has to turn heel, right? Like if either of those guys are turning heel, you don't just sweep. Like Mello's kind of like had his run. He loses the belt to Dragunov, who never had the belt, which we're about to get into, right? And then Trick wins the North American Championship, which I did not see coming. And then on Raw, they played into that way harder too. And damn, I wish Hairline was here. Maybe this isn't a good month for Hairline. No, we're brothers, man. He knows I'm only saying that in jest, but it's like the Judgment Day is about to fucking break up right before Halloween. God damn it. Like, God, he's probably losing his shit right now. So I really want his thoughts on that, but it's so sad. It's so depressing.
Emotional damage.
We're all just sitting here fucking, where's Hairline? No. We got it. You guys like me too, you motherfuckers. Hairline's always crying about the P drones. You guys better turn out for this shit or I'm going to be really fucking mad. Or I'm taking a break too. God damn it. No, I'm just playing. But, so yeah, it looks like Judgment Day is like really fuck, man. Who knows? And then you're looking at Priest on Raw. And it's like he's got the briefcase, he's got the titles, he's going off, right? Like something's got to give here soon. I think he tries to cash it before the Rumble. That's my prediction. Give me the X-Files. So moving along though. So anyways, though, that was a great match and Mommy still wasn't there because she was hurt and that's sort of why he lost. But it's weird that none of the other guys show up to NXT ever, but I digress. We had the NXT championship match, Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov up next. At first, this match kicked off. So yeah, it's the time. You have to, like, Dragunov's super over as a babyface. You have to turn Hayes, right? He can do heel. You have to do it, and then you get a program out of him and Trick for the North American title. That just elevates that shit. Like now Carmelo's like gonna be like, I'm gonna come for your whatever. And I'm sure he'll get a rematch with Dragunov, but wasn't that the rematch right there? Like they've wrestled a few times. When this match first started, I was like, man, I already seen these guys. And I don't know. I've seen sort of I at least I feel like I did. Maybe I'm just fucking stupid, but I was just not super. I was like, Dragunov's going to win kind of, you know, I just felt like the story's kind of this double angle turn thing is glaringly obvious, but that's not always a bad thing. Like that's what kept me tuning in. And the matches, man. So the point I'm trying to make here is Hayes and Dragunov won me over in this match so hard. They I don't know, Dragunov's just got that intensity, that tenacity. You see the video backstage of him and HBK embracing, and Dragunov's just so intense and like, wow, he's going to be a great NXT champion. And he should be he's like the Walter of fucking, you know, of NXT basically. And I don't know, it's time. You turn Hayes heel. I don't know, man. Maybe get one of those lovely ladies that's with Noam Dar in that group and stick her with as a valet with Hayes or something like that. And then you have him feud with Trick, man. And Trick is the truth. Speaking of Trick. So anyways, the finish to Hayes and Dragunov, pardon me, was tremendous. And there was hard way blood, and I'm a mark for shit like that, especially when you know how like, because you respect it a bit more when it looks so clean, but then you see the blood and you know they're not blading. That's what makes you appreciate it more, you know, when guys are obviously hurting each other and fucking landing on each other and shit, and then people are bleeding. It's I don't know, you don't like that as much. Or when they're obviously blading, you know, Mox, I hate to go Mox, he goes through a table, he blades, you know, it's silly. Anyways, let me sip my coffee. Yeah, man, Trick Williams is your North American champion, and Carmelo Hayes is no longer the NXT champion. So we move along to the main event after. But anyways, moving along, the main event was really fucking good for like the wrong reasons, right? Like it was Tiffany sitting swantons on the fucking outside. You know, it was beautiful, stunning, graceful. When the table doesn't break, I like that sometimes. I won't lie, because for shoot more painful. Just the exploding table looks cooler. But so I don't want to say I'm a fan, but like if you want to talk about what really, like, them putting their bodies on the line, and Tiffy just she's just so ahead of her time. I can't really. I thought she was gonna win. Shout out Becky, shout out Tiffy. They fucking killed it. That match was phenomenal. I don't know. Becky retains, and yeah, I hope she keeps just like giving these younger girls the rub as they make their way. I think Tegan Knox is up next. Who knows?